when you launched your service, how long did it take for you to get your first client?
2 or 3 days later.
Hi, Jemimah. How are you?
Hi, Lakeisha. I'm really good, thank you. How are you?
Good. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. So, today is all about really hearing about your coaching experience, where you started, and where you are now. We need to be completely real and honest. Does that sound cool?
Yeah.
Awesome. So, tell me a bit about where you were before you started coaching. Like, what was happening and what made you decide that you wanted a coach?
So before I started coaching with you, I was working full time in uh digital media production. So creating content on digital media platforms, working full time. And at the beginning of this year, I knew that I wanted to do something different. I wanted to tackle different things, do more writing, start a business, giving feedback on scripts. And actually, the script feedback business is something that I've wanted to do for years because it's something that I've done for work. I've done, people would send me their scripts, I would give them feedback, just as a favor. And so that was one of the things that I wanted to do, but I felt like I just was just focusing on work and I didn't allow myself to do other things. Even writing, I just wasn't doing as much as I wanted to. And so as time went on, in the year, I just thought to myself, if not now, when? And so I quit my job and I started networking and doing different things. And then I happened to see that you were doing a live on Instagram. And so went on it. And then you were talking about that you were gonna do a webinar, I think that week or maybe the following week, about if you wanted to start a business, what are the key steps to kind of do those things and
Yeah.
how you could help. So I thought, okay, this is interesting. This is something I've wanted to do. Let me just log in. And so I went to the webinar and listened to your talk about, just all the different ways that you can help starting, all the different ways that you can help a person start whatever it is that they want to start, whether it's coaching, writing a book or whatever it is. It's endless kind of thing. And so I was like, I really want to start my script feedback business. This is something I wanted to do. And so I decided to work with you based on just, I think mainly what stood out to me was just having confidence in something that you know that you can already do, but just having the confidence to do it and just starting and having all the tools needed to like get going. And I was like, I know that I can do this, but I lack confidence and I don't know how to market myself. And so that was like the thing that I wanted help with. And so I decided to work with you in order to work on those things.
Perfect. So you went from like doing a favor for people with the script writing consultations to actually being like, if not now, then when? Like you
Yeah.
saw an opportunity where you're going to get all the tool, all the strategy to have clarity and confidence, and you were like, okay, this sounds good.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. And like, what made you specifically want to work with myself?
I think just the confidence that you came with, and just the reassurance that we might feel not very confident, but we do have something to offer. So it's just about leaning into our strengths. So I think you were just saying all the things that resonated with me. Like I do have the skills, I do have experience. I just lack confidence because starting something new is always tricky. So I think that's just where I was. I wanted to do something bold, but at the same time, I was nervous and didn't really feel confident.
Yeah. Okay. So we worked together for 90 days, 3 months. Let me know exactly how you found the experience overall to begin with. I will
Yeah.
move on to like what we worked on, but
Yeah.
overall, how did you find the experience?
I found it was like a roller coaster of emotions in a sense of starting something new, promoting myself, like me just telling people this is what I'm doing is very uncomfortable for me. Um, and I had to just put myself out there. And marketing was one of the things I needed help with. So obviously marketing myself means putting myself out there. And so I found that tricky, but I also found it enjoyable because just so for instance, my first how the first thing I did was I basically said something's coming, stay tuned. And so people were already like interested. They were messaging me saying like, what is it? Trying to guess what it was. And then I posted my announcement video that I I have launched a script feedback business,
Mm.
and these are the experiences I have, and these are the key areas I want to focus on in terms of script, which is story, structure, characterization, and dialogue. and come with 10 years worth of experience, worked in industry, did this, that, and the other. And so I'm looking for new and inspiring writers who want to work with me. So that was basically the launch video. And I remember thinking, I don't know if anyone's going to reach out to me, but let's just put myself out there. And to my surprise, like a couple of days later, I got people responding to my post, saying, yeah, I'm interested, or asking questions. Can I speak to you more about the information? And so as well as other people just encouraging me and saying this is such a good idea, well done, you've been wanting to do this for a while, all that and the other. So I felt like, wow, this is great. So I think the feedback and the responses made it worth everything.
Yeah.
Um, so it was like I think it was scary, but also an amazing experience overall. I definitely pushed myself, and it just told myself that I could do this and I could do more.
Amazing,
Yeah,
amazing. So you went from like not knowing how to market yourself. You obviously like you worked on your launch strategy, and you
yeah.
mentioned a couple of delays later. So after when you launched your service, how long did it take for you to get your first client?
I want to say a few days later, like maybe 2 or 3 days later. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. And that
Yeah.
leads us nicely into like what did we work on then? So for you, what did we work on that you feel has been valuable? If you can just maybe start by sharing how many clients you've got over the 90 days, and then
Yeah.
let us know how, like the steps
Yeah.
that we took in order to get there.
Yeah. So overall, I've got 4 clients,
Amazing.
4 paid clients who reached out to me that wanted to work with me, and we're currently working on their scripts as we speak. And what we worked on to get those clients was just I think for me was more like the language that I use to talk about what we're going to work on, and the skills that I have, and
Yeah.
what the whole feedback experience will be like overall. So it was just I'm going to help you with XYZ. I come with this, 10 years worth of experience. If you're a new and aspiring screenwriter, this is an opportunity for you to take your screenplay to the next level. So just using words that would resonate with them, new writer, aspiring, next level. If you're, writing to enter competitions, if you're writing to just finish a script, if you're writing to, um, make your first short. I'm going to help you with that. So basically speaking to what the new writers want to do. And I guess
Right.
we got to that point when I did like my survey. So I, reached out to writers that I know, and I just asked them questions in the survey. What is it that you need help with? What's challenging you when it comes to
Yeah.
writing your script? When you're finished your script, what kind of things do you like? What's your next step? So I took all of those information and I used that to um, you know, I use that to explain what I'm going to do in my
Yeah.
videos, my launch videos and videos after that.
Love it. So it sounds like really knowing how to market to your ideal clients, like
Yeah.
how to clearly
Yeah.
communicate like to a specific person, because you mentioned you only work with new writers, you only work with aspiring writers, you only work with short film. So being really clear
Yeah.
on who you want to work with, and then having a strategy for your content so you can attract them, because you started by saying like people messaging you and people reached out to you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And of course, a few steps back, we would have worked on your program and your service, because to start
Yeah.
with, you didn't have anything, and
Yeah.
then worked on your launch strategy. 48 hours later, boom, your first client, and then in the 90 days for. And I know there's absolutely more to come. Really, really excited for you. Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
What would you say to someone who is watching this? Maybe they've seen myself before, they know what I do, but they're just like on the fence. And like before you answer that question, was there anything that stopped you from going ahead with coaching that made you think, oh, I'm not sure?
When we started or before?
Yeah, so just before you started, was it like a hard, yes, I'm gonna do it, or was it like, oh, I'm not sure, but let me go anyway?
I think after the webinar, it was a definite like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was sure that I wanted to do it because I just felt like confident that you would help
yeah,
me. So I think maybe what the only thing that held me back was myself. Just will I be able to deliver?
okay,
But I think in terms of like giving it a go, I thought, well, this is what I wanted to do. I felt like when I saw your live video, that was like almost like a weird coincidence because I was just like, what's she talking about today? Didn't
yeah,
know that you were talking about, um, you know, like your 90-day coaching and the things that you were gonna help with. So when I heard that, I was like, oh, this is interesting. I definitely want to hear more. And then
Yeah.
when I heard more, I was like, no, I definitely want to do this. Even though it was scary, I was like, this is the time.
Love it, love it. And then for anyone watching this who, is aware of what I do, but maybe they're on the fence a bit. Jemima, what would you say to that person?
I would say, you're probably feeling scared. There's so many reasons why you're holding yourself back from the very thing that you want to do. And it is scary to start something new. It's always scary, but it's worth it. And even if, you learn a lot along the way. So it's not going to be perfect, but you're learning a lot about yourself, about the business, whatever it is that you're working towards. And so I would say if it's something that you want to do, then why not give it a go? Because, it's if you don't give it a go, then you never know what you could achieve or what you could learn from it. But by giving it a go, you're gonna be more confident, you're gonna grow, you're gonna see yourself in a different light. So I would say if this is something that you've been thinking about, it's a sign that you should go for it and see where it takes you.
Love it. It's a sign you should go for it and see where it takes you. And Jemima, it's taken you from not knowing how to market yourself, not feeling confident, to being like, hey, this is who I am, this is what I do, having people DM you, 4 clients in, and this is a journey. Like, I
Yeah.
know there's so much more, and I cannot wait to see it. Well done. It's been a pleasure.